What is up, F and True followers and wrestling fans? I'm JC Styles here with the F brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com with the TNA Impact review for February 7th, 2013. Now, it was a pretty good night on Impact tonight. I have to say they focused a little bit more on the matches than they did in-ring segments, so I'm going to get right into it. First off, we see video footage from the last several weeks on Impact. The closing moments of the steel cage match last week, where we see Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff beat down on Kurt Angle, joining the Aces and Eights. We then see the Aces and Eights come out and they cut a promo. Devon passes the mic over to Garrett and he's getting booed out of the building. Garrett talks about how what they did to Kurt Angle, and how that if Kurt Angle tries to get into the arena tonight, is that they're going to take him out and end him once and for all. Then Briscoe gets on the mic and talks about how what he did in joining Ace and Ace was because of Hulk Hogan. How Hulk Hogan told him that he had to join the ranks of TNA by going through the gut check. Talked about how his father is a Hall of Famer, which he is, and then goes on and starts tearing into Kurt Angle and says that Kurt Angle forgot who gave him his first pair of wrestling boots and who trained Kurt Angle in professional wrestling. Then Tara and Jesse are caught backstage, and they're complaining about their flight issues, and then Tara tries to get out of her match with Miss Tessmacher later in the night. Brooke says Tara will face her, and that Jesse can get her coffee because he is banned from the ringside area. We then move into triple threat action. RVD picks up the win over Zema Ion and Kenny King. This match was actually great, I have to admit. At certain points of the match, you could kind of see Kenny King and Zema trying to slow down a little bit so RVD can catch up. I'm not the biggest RVD fan anymore. I was years ago when he, was still fast and he was still quick and everything. It's just now he's getting up there and he's starting to get a little slower in the ring. And honestly, I think that, I've always stated in my videos that some of the veterans should start, leaning out and stepping away so the younger talent can have time to shine. And don't get me wrong, RVD still has plenty of years, but I think that having him with the X Division Championship when he can't be fast and innovative like some of the younger guys like a Kenny King and a Zema Ion, I honestly think that they should focus on those two more than RVD having the X Division Championship. But with that being said, it was a great match. I give my hats off to all three gentlemen in this match. It was probably a great match, and I enjoyed it. We then go into the TNA British Boot Camp highlights. We see several of England's own hometown heroes, getting a tryouts for TNA. Excuse me, I almost said WWE, for TNA, and there's some really good things. It's almost like the TNA version of Tough Enough, kind of, but for the British UK, and we see Rockstar Spud win the boot camp, and we see him later in the night. We then see James Storm pick up the win over Jesse after Jesse comes out and says that he is going to entertain the fans by his spectacular pecs, and just basically he was just posing down, and then James Storm came out, said a couple quick words, then it went right into the match. James Storm made quick work of Jesse. And then we see the tag team championships on the line when Aries and Bobby Roode defeated Chavo and Hernandez to become the new TNA tag team champions. Now, this was a great match. These guys are doing great things with Roode and Aries. And I have to say, I've always been a Roode fan and I've always been an Aries fan. But I always say that Roode was better as a tag team than he was as a singles competitor. I just don't know what it is. It's just, I guess it's because for, I want to say 90% of Roode's TNA career, he's always been a part of a tag team. He was with Team Canada for quite some time. Then he broke out after Team Canada broke apart, and he went with the singles run. And then he formed a team with Bobby Roode, with James Storm after AMW broke apart, and James Storm had his own solo run for a little while, and they formed Beer Money, and then they were a tag team for several years. So, it shows you that these guys, like James Storm and like Roode, were always better as a tag team than they were singles. James Storm is kind of getting lost in the shuffle, feuding in the mid card and the low card when he was just feuding over the world championship just about a month ago. So you can really see the tide changing in TNA where You're up here 1 second, then you're down here another. You can just really see it. We then, back to the tag team match. The tag team match was phenomenal, great. I can't really see why they paired Chavo with Hernandez. Honestly, I think Hernandez was always better as a singles competitor. I mean, Hernandez was good when he was with LAX, when he was with Homicide. Because Homicide and Hernandez kind of complemented each other in the ring as a tag team. But I don't honestly see why they paired him with Chavo. But again, they made for a really good, interesting tag team just because of their background and Hernandez having such much respect for the Guerrero legacy. Now, I can understand Chavo trying to craft Hernandez in the art of the Guerrero family, kind of teaching him different things, trying to almost like kind of like train him a little bit and sculpt him more than he already is. But Austin Aries and Bobby Roode are the new TNA Tag Team Championships. We then see Bully Ray, Sting, Hulk Hogan, and his daughter Brooke backstage. Sting tells Brooke, "Come on, let's go. This is a conversation that's been needing to have for a long time." We then see Bully and Hogan talk backstage, and they talk about how what they do over the last several weeks have been, since Bully has started seeing Brooke, how they haven't seen eye to eye. And then he says that, "I guess you're a good guy and I just haven't seen it." Then Bully says, "I've never been a good guy. I might be a good guy to your daughter because I treat her with respect and I love her and she's my wife and everything." And then, he goes, Hogan turns around and says, "If you really want to be a part of my family, you're going to have to prove it." And then he goes, "I will, don't you worry." And he calls Hogan dad. And then right at the minute before the cameras cut to commercial, Hogan says, "Yeah, that's what I thought." I kind of had a feeling something was going to happen, or that was just a slight of the planting of the seed that something might happen at a later date between these two guys. We then see Miss Tessmacher, defeat Tara. Now this match was okay. I'm not really, Miss Tessmacher is still green. She's still learning in the ring. Tara, she, such a phenomenal knockout and such a phenomenal women's competitor. And when you go in there and she's got to, job someone like Miss Tessmacher, it just really aggravates me because Tara can wrestle and we know she can. And I don't know. I just don't really honestly see Miss Tessmacher doing anything. I know that she's knockout champion. I think she's just there for eye candy, honestly, in my opinion. I know there's people out there that really like her. I just don't see. I just don't see the whole big thing about her. But good, decent match. Didn't really agree with the finish. I would have liked to have seen maybe Tara get over Miss Tessmacher, but I'm sure that they're probably building these two for the Knockouts Championship at a later date. We then see British Boot Camp Rockstar Spud come out, and he's getting ready to cut a promo on the mic, and then Robbie E comes out, and then he starts calling Rockstar a Spud, and then he says, "If Robbie T wasn't holding me back, I would, destroy you and knock you out, lay you out. You're lucky." And then you see Robbie T just throw the bro list down, and then he goes down to grab it, and then Rockstar just lays Robbie E out, and then these two are in the ring, doing fist pump or rock horns, whatever you want to call them. Then in the main event, we see Sting and Bully Ray defeat Devon and Doc. Now, this was a great match. Whenever you have tables match on Impact, it's always good, especially when you have two guys in this match that really made the tables match popular. Now, the match ended right as Bully Ray started bullying up, as they call it. They said it, but it was his version of Hogan. He hit the big boot and then did a power up, power down slam through the table to end the match. This match was pretty good. It was great to see. During this match, Taz was just really tearing down on Bully and what's been going on and the refs and just really playing the heel character very well. And, guys, I'm not going to take too much of your time up with this, but I'm going to wrap this up. Honestly, like I said, it was a good night on Impact. Not a lot happened, but, there was some good matches and some good builds for next week. Can't wait to see what's going to happen. So, guys, for the Efren brand of wrestling and entertainment here on YouTube.com, leave your comments in the comment box below and let me know your thought and your opinions of TNA Impact tonight. And I'll catch you later.